Here is the thing about James Harden. Not only is he the NBA's leading scorer, he's also its most innovative. And his signature shot, the step-back three, is becoming the most reliable scoring move in the entire NBA.
Harden, step-back three.
Over the past few years, Harden has turned what was once an obscure shot into the centerpiece of his terrifying offensive arsenal. Check this out, folks. During the 2013-14 season, Stephen Curry led the NBA by attempting just 69 step-back threes. Last season, just 5 years later, Harden led the NBA by taking 613. 613! Step-back fever is taking the league by storm, but Harden is patient zero. His step-back innovations are changing perimeter offense forever. It starts with the Rockets' offensive approach and their devotion to holy efficiency. More than any team in NBA history, the Rockets will chase efficiency no matter where it leads. And so Daryl Morey and head coach Mike D'Antoni, who both know that Harden is among the most gifted and most efficient one-on-one scorers in the world, built their entire offense around him. The numbers are staggering. Last year, even the most isolation-heavy players in the league were only using a few ISOs per game. Joel Embiid and Damian Lillard, less than 5 per game. Kevin Durant, just below 6. Giannis, LeBron, Kawhi, and Westbrook, all in single digits. Only DeMar DeRozan and Blake Griffin took more than 10. And then there's Harden, who averaged an incredible 19.8 ISOs per game, nearly twice as many as any other NBA player. Going back to 2013-14, when the league began tracking isolations, only 3 entire teams have averaged more in a single season than Harden did by himself last year. Last year's Thunder and 2 Rockets teams that Harden played for. We're watching the reboot of hero ball, folks. With NBA defenses switching more and more, hunting and isolating mismatches has become a core strategy. This tactic is reviving the isolation-heavy aesthetic that fell out of fashion earlier this decade. Movement-oriented offenses in San Antonio and Golden State harvested efficiency in ways that ISO scorers like Kobe Bryant and Allen Iverson never could. But unlike the early practitioners of hero ball, Harden's game is analytically calibrated. His shot diet is cleaner than Bryant's was, and he gets to the line as much as prime Shaquille O'Neal. And you can think of all those ISOs as launch pads for step-back threes. After all, 70% of Harden's ISOs end with him shooting the ball. Harden's step-back jumpers all begin with choreography. His favorite spot to pull off the move is at the very top of the arc, where he launches his step-backs about 42% of the time. He also likes that right wing, but the corners are tough.
Harden, step-back three, bang!
A quintessential Harden ISO is all about using his self-created island to dribble and jab and try to create even the slightest imbalance in his defender. Per NBA tracking data, Harden was the only player in the league to dribble more than 500 times per game last season. On 40% of these step-backs last season, he dribbled at least 10 times before pulling off the move. While most players use their dribbles to get from point A to point B, Harden uses his as a means to destroy his defender's balance. As soon as Harden gets his man to lean just a little too much, he either surges past him on a drive to the rack, or he shuffles into ample shooting space to launch his step-back three. Let's revisit this classic example against Kevin Durant, Harden's old teammate and fellow MVP winner. James Harden is dribbling up the left wing as the Houston Rockets are down 3 with 48 seconds left. Kevin Durant calls off Andre Iguodala. He wants to guard his former teammate in one of the most intense moments of the season. Durant picks up Harden about 35 feet from the rim. His arm is already raised to prevent even the longest threes Harden might consider. But it's not Durant's arms that Harden is focused on. It's his Nikes. Harden uses a left-handed dribble to edge toward the three-point line. With 45.9 seconds remaining, the ball has bounced back up into Harden's hand. He's done dribbling, but his unhurried demeanor still gives no clue that he's about to bury the game-tying three in Kevin Durant's face. Harden lurches his left foot forward and suddenly jerks his body as if he's going to penetrate, but his back foot hasn't even moved. This is the whole reason it works, folks. The entire choreography of the setup is designed to create this singular moment where Harden gets his defender leaning toward the hoop while he can step backward into a clean jumper.
Step back three, good! Right between the eyes!
On average, the Harden step back creates about 6 feet of shooting space per second Spectrum data. By the time Harden brings the ball through his shot pocket, the defender attempting to close the gap is always too late. And that's what makes him so dangerous. Harden can create these clean three-point looks at will. Depending on what you consider the beginning of the act, Harden's step-back jumper takes about 1 second. In that second, he breaks his defender's balance, creates the shooting space, brings the ball through his shot pocket, and releases it. It's the most dangerous second in the NBA, and although defenders know it's coming, they don't know exactly when. At T-1, they're still clueless that liftoff has already begun. That's why Harden's step back is the most important move in the league right now. It's 12% more efficient than the average shot in the half court. And when Harden can draw a foul on these step backs, which happens about 6% of the time, that efficiency surges up to more than 3 points per attempt, a total cheat code number. Other players around the league like Luka Doncic and Devin Booker are watching and taking notes. Harden's already mastered the most influential move in the sport, and now, well, he's just inventing new moves. Hey guys, thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For highlights and news, download the ESPN app, and for premium content and streaming, subscribe to ESPN+.